Regional semifinal action here at the beautiful McKee Field at Hayden Park in Oxford, Ohio, home of the Red Hawks. But today, it is home of the regional semifinals as the Mason Comets taking on the Elder Panthers in what should be a very exciting matchup, a rematch in last year's regional semifinals. Last year, the Comets fell to the Elder Panthers, so this a redemption game for Coach Bly and his squad. A lot of expectations, and Andrew, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, like you said, it's rematch deja vu for the Comets and Panthers, and once again, on the mound for Elder, it's Caden Amon, now a senior. He got the win in the last matchup. Last time we were at Xavier University, now we're here at Miami University. A great field, great environment. Should be a good battle.
Yeah, my name's Adam Little, joined alongside my partner for tonight's broadcast, Andrew Little. And Elder, the bats are hot right now. On last Thursday, took a victory against Centerville 13-2. The team had 12 hits and a batting average of .414. And on the mound for the Comets, it's going to be the dominating Jake Hanley, and he's been just as hot.
Yeah, Hanley's been on fire through a complete game and had 2 home runs in his most recent appearance. He's the number one threat, both on the mound and hitting. He's hitting the 2-hole today.
The Comets are going to be glad to have him on the mound tonight. And when it comes down to these playoff games like this, you want to throw your best guy when you can, and the Comets are doing that tonight as they look to redeem themselves against the Panthers. Leading off for the Comets is going to be the second baseman, Alex Kelling. First pitch is delivered. That one.
Kelling, the Ohio State signee, batting .347 on the year. And once he gets on base, he's a threat. 22 stolen bases.
And on the mound for Elder is Caden Amon as that ball from Kelling ripped to second base. It couldn't be fielded correctly, and that'll go down as an error for the first batter of the game.
So tough break on the first at bat for Amon. Gonna go down as a hit. So now brings up Jake Hanley.
And that actually put that one down as a hit. So Kellen will pick up the first hit of the game. He's on first, bringing Hanley up to the bat.
That one inside, almost hit Hanley, who has not been hit by a pitch all season long.
Hanley, the long ball threat, like you mentioned last game, 2 home runs. One of the most outstanding performances not only of the year but of his career. That one grounded to short. Elder looks to turn 2. They get Kelling at second, but Hanley is safe at first.
So make up for the defensive mishap on the first at bat, but Hanley able to leg out the fielder's choice, get to first base. So Amon in a much theme with these guys going to Ashland. Last year, Sean Krugerberg, who's now at Ashland University, won GMC Player of the Year, and Drew Stevens, batting .380, led the team this year. Also headed to Ashland next year.
Amon delivers pitch 2. That one fouled back.
Chops that hit right there. The grounder. That's what Stevens is, a lot of contact hitting. 16 RBIs on the season.
Stevens down 2 strikes. Hanley on first. Amon will deliver. And that off-speed hits the plate.
That one dropped at the end. Good eye from Stevens to recognize the change in direction.
I like that. Third pitch there from Amon, trying to get Stevens to chase, but Stevens a very disciplined hitter. That one low again on the fastball.
Yes, there. Again, trying to get Stevens to chase in the dirt, and just got away from Amon a little bit.
He's got a 1.5-1.6 pop time. He is definitely got an arm down to second base, so it's hard to steal on him. So we'll see how that goes into tonight's game. This Mason team being a little bit faster.
Amon looks back at Hanley at first.
Hanley, just the long strides make him a threat on the bases. He's got 8 stolen bases on the year, has not been thrown out.
Checks back at Hanley again. Hanley, 6'7" frame, definitely has those long strides, and he's always a problem on the base paths. 1 out. That pitch down the middle, ripped into left center. And it'll go down as a single for Stevens. Hanley elects to stay at second, so 2 runners on, 1 out. And that'll bring the cleanup hitter, Mark Rutherford, the catcher, up to the
Drew
plate.
Stevens does exactly what needs to be done there, rips it out into the gap in left field. Hanley almost had the green light. Coach Bly held him at the last second, but now you've got 2 runners on, 1 out. Feeling pretty good, speed on both bases. And Mark Rutherford, no, he's another power third as well. 5 doubles this year, a triple, a home run, 17 RBIs. Looking to bring in some runners early in the game.
You don't want this guy extending his hands, especially in the 4 hole, because this guy definitely has power.
First pitch to Rutherford is outside.
Eamon cautious with his placement, with now 2 runners on.
Just a bit outside.
Checks the runner.
Eamon goes back. Yeah, it's very worried with Hanley on the base path. Comets, a lot of speed around the bases. Coach Bly never afraid to move those runners around.
Pretty sizable lead, and you can do that with Hanley with his wingspan.
That one ripped into right field. And that one drops to the warning track. Hanley coming home. Stevens on his way to third. Rutherford stopped at second. Could have had enough time to get to third, but Stevens elects to stay at third. So 1 runner comes in as the Comets. A lot of pap on the bat in the first inning.
Yep, and Ben Wigan able to get there. And for a second, it looked like that one was going to go over the fence for a ground rule double. And I think Rutherford could have probably made it to third base, but Stevens likely would have been tagged at home. It was a great throw from the right field, so smart decision to hold the runners at second, third, and Comets on the board early.
Only 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. That'll bring Anthony Sulik, the senior shortstop, up to the plate. Eamon sliders off the plate.
Sulik has been a consistent piece in this lineup for the last couple of years. 278 average.
That ball in the same spot.
When Drew Stevens up to the plate, he got down 0-2. Now Eamon in a tough spot. That's one Anthony Sulik would like back. Fastball down the pipe. Just couldn't time the swing.
Sulik just
came in at 85.
Sulik a little early on that pitch. 2-1 count. That pitch just outside.
Yeah, but once again, 85 mile an hour fastball there, and just fades off the zone. Gators count.
Waiting for his pitch, and that one inside. Bases loaded in the top of the first.
Elder now in some trouble. Looked like things were swinging their way, but Jake Hanley legging out the first base on the fielder's choice turns out to be humongous. Now bases loaded. Hanley already made his way to home plate.
It'll be the junior Hutch Crociata stepping up to bat for the Comets. He's really moved up this Comets lineup this season. One of the few juniors on the team, and he'll watch strike go on the outside corner.
Yep, he's the least experienced batter in this lineup, just 36 at-bats this year, but he's been efficient batting, or slugging, 333, and
that pitch low, as he'll chase Stevens back to third.
Crociata had a great game against Moeller at Prasco Park, got some big reps there. So even though he hasn't played in a playoff environment, has been in that intense situation.
Cooper Sandus, the junior catcher, a nice block there. 1-1 count for Crociata. That one shoots past the second baseman. Rutherford held at third by Coach Bly. Stevens makes his way in, and the Comets take a 2-0 lead.
Crociata gets the barrel right where he needs to on that hit and drives in another run. Comets are rolling. And the Panthers defensively just struggling to get the spots.
And Andrew, we mentioned the speed of this Comets team, and Mark Rutherford runs very hard, but Coach Bly likes to hold him at third base. Not the fastest guy on the team, but you ought to know, running through Mark's head, he was willing to turn home.
Yeah, I mean, Rutherford wanted to go to third on his double, and so definitely had his eyes on the plate right there. But 2 runs already, just 1 out. You can afford to play a little more conservatively here. It is the playoffs. Can't afford to give up easy outs when you've got a run right on the table.
Caden Amon a little rattled here as the Elder will head over to the mound for a quick visit. 4 hits given up already in the top of the first.
But Amon's been their ace the past few years, but at times does get rattled early. Against Moeller, gave up 3 runs in the first inning, ended up giving up 8 earned runs over just over 5 innings pitched in that game, and the Panthers just couldn't dig out a hole in that game. And the Comets are off to a great start here.
Drew Johnson up to the plate now. First pitched low and outside.
Johnson, another junior, batting .238 on the season. It's 2 doubles.
And a very wide left center gap here for Johnson, the righty. Typically doesn't pull the ball, but the right fielder playing nearly in right center, or the center fielder, excuse me, playing nearly in right center.
Yep, so a chance here for Johnson.
Johnson fouls that one back for the first strike.
Yep, sails that fastball back over where we're sitting in the press box. 86-mile-an-hour pitch there from Amon, who's been sitting in the mid-80s on his fastball.
That one high. It's a 3-1 count. And Amon, last thing he wants to do is walk a runner in here in the top of the first.
Yep, and Sandus has been playing a key role behind the plate. He stopped a couple pass balls right there, prevented a run.
3-1 pitch for Johnson. And high and inside. And Rutherford will have an easy walk home. The Comets extend their lead to 3.
It's the first inning, and Elder definitely wanted to give Amon some grace here, but when you start walking in runners, that's when things really become problematic. Just 1 out. And have to wonder when a meeting's going to occur now. And Sandus is going to head up to the pitcher's mound.
And Zach Barnes, the junior pitcher, already warming up.
Yeah, definitely not the position the Panthers wanted to be in. But the Comets came out swinging. The bats were hot. And now in a 3-0 hole. Have to escape this. Bases loaded, just 1 out. It's not getting any easier. Comets are getting close to the top of their lineup.
Yeah, and somebody Andrew, we were talking a lot about pregame was Casey Donor, and he's had some electric games recently. And when Casey gets hot, he's one of the top players on this Comet team. When he gets the ball to the barrel, he's a deadly hitter.
Yeah, Donor, when he hits the ball, the contact, it sounds better than almost anybody else on the team. But hitting .211, the consistency isn't always there.
That one nearly gets his helmet, as Donor will escape ball 2.
And Donor has been hit by pitch 5 times this year.
2-0 count. Amon delivers that one inside. Amon potentially walking a second batter in. 3-0 count. Donor's going to take this one as Amon walks 2 batters in. 4-0 with 1 out here in the top of the first. And Elder, looks like they might be making a move to the bullpen soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And at first, the Comets, had to credit them, just some big hits. But now Amon's making it easy for them. Very few pitches hitting the zone.
Comets in the 9 hole, looking to already bat through their lineup in this first inning as Brad Hart will take strike 1.
Hart, a senior, brings a lot of experience to the lineup. Some great defense out in center field.
Second pitch just high.
And expect to see Hart be extra conservative with the swings here. He's already a guy that's looking, it's going to be patient with the swings. 11 walks this year at the back of the lineup. But now,
and Hart rips that one in between first and second. One runner comes home. Johnson stays at third as Crociata will come in to score. Comets, 5 hits, 5 runs, only 1 out.
Yep, things are getting out of control. And Brad Hart there, patient, got his pitch, because Amon, at some point you've got to hit the zone, throws that fastball, and Hart rips it up the first and second base gap, and now a mound visit. It seemed inevitable at this point. You've given up 5 runs, just 1 out. Haven't had a guy out since the first batter.
Yeah, and it'll be a quick showing tonight from Amon on the mound. Something to keep in mind, Amon, not only Elder's ace on the mound, but also one of their top hitters, so can't afford to have Amon get rattled offensively as well.
Yep, things just got a lot more difficult for the Panthers and Caden Amon. He's had a great career with Elder, but might be the last time he steps off the mound. University of Findlay signee.
And now on the mound for Elder is going to be Corbin Shondel, the junior pitcher.
So last year it was Amon as a junior who was the hero on the mound for Elder against Mason. Now another junior, but this time it's Shondel getting his chance to shine.
Shondel coming to the mound. No more for his off-speed pitches. So we'll see what adjustments Alex Kelling will make, as the Comets have already batted through their lineup.
And Shondel, 3.5 ERA this season. 16 strikeouts, 13 walks, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 save. So he's been their go-to middle reliever. Like you said, Adam, we're already back to the top of the lineup with a pitching change. It almost feels like a whole new inning, whole new game. And Elder better hope that's the case.
Not only does it feel like a whole new game, but it feels like a whole new game with the bases starting loaded.
Yeah. Can't come in at a more difficult position in the playoff. It's an elimination game. You're playing one of the top teams in the state. Your team's in a hole, 1 out. Bases loaded, and one of the best hitters in the region at the plate.
Kelling will step up for the second time. First at bat had a single, we'll call it, to the second baseman. Didn't go down as an error.
Yep, and Kelling, he's seen almost all of his teammates score runs already. The 2 through 6 in the lineup made it home plate, and I know he's got his eyes on that. He's the only guy that hasn't joined the party. Takes strike 1.
Shondel steps off the mound. Kelling trying to avoid hitting into a double play. 1 out, 1 strike. That one hit towards the left field line. Can't stay fair.
But Kelling just a little off there. Could have been a big extra base hit.
Kelling down 0-2. This will really open up Shondel's playbook again. Has a nasty slider, so we'll see if he pulls that one out. That one hit straight up, infield fly. And that one will go right to the shortstop, Jaden Walpole, for out number 2.
So that brings up Jake Hanley after that infield fly. Everybody stays where they are, and Hanley, who's hit 5 home runs this year, comes up with the bases loaded.
And as Hanley steps into the box, we see both the right fielder and center fielder take about 10 steps back.
I can't blame him.
First pitch to Hanley. just outside. And Andrew, another interesting stat we were talking about before the game is Hanley's slugging percentage. Slugging 700%. I mean, that is just unheard of.
Yeah, that's unreal. And he's got 15 extra base hits this
Or
year.
not 700%. 700.
The ground ball.
Thought about that one, that off speed.
Swing on that backdoor slider. Third base umpire
There
Brown
goes.
Freeman, says that
Nice pitch dropped at the last second, but Hanley stays disciplined.
but,
For a second, you know, he likes those inside. Thought he was going to be able to rip that, but
that slider looked good to the last
speed
second,
switched.
and it just cut away from the
Instead, 2-0 count for Hanley.
as he's gonna go to a 2-0 count here.
Waiting for his pitch.
Another slider.
Another one low. 3-0 count for Hanley. As he'll get the take sign from Coach Bly.
Yep, and Shondell, you know, it's a tough spot for him. You don't really want to pitch to Jake Hanley in your first few at-bats, but have to with the bases loaded.
Again, Elder walks a third runner in. So bases will stay loaded. Stevens will step up to the plate.
Yep, and the Panthers are just rattled. Shondell, you know, knew Hanley wasn't going to swing there, but just missed the zone by a few inches. Nothing going right for the Panthers.
Yeah, the third baseman. He's
We already saw Stevens with a nice single earlier.
with a 380
As he'll push that one opposite field into right field. And Elder able to come underneath it as the Comets put on 6 runs in the top of the first. Elder going to have a big hole to dig out of as the bats start to move here in the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first, it'll be the junior left fielder Eli Roden. First to step into the box for the Panthers, and on the mound is Jake Hanley.
Yep, and Hanley scored a run at the plate. Now here is pitching with a nice cushion.
First pitch, a fastball fouled back, 93. That pitch clocked in, and Hanley is maxed out at 97. And not a lot of pitchers in Ohio can hit the velocity he can.
Nope, it's a short list of guys in high school with the speed that he has, but Probably might not need to use the whole tool belt here. Offense did him quite a few favors with that 6-0 lead.
He's got a pretty solid hitter. He's just
That one hit into left field. And Crociata doesn't even have to move. So that one lined right to him. And the key with Hanley on the mound is when you get that curveball to land. And you can mix in a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and then an 80-mile-an-hour curveball. It's pretty impossible to hit.
And Hanley already showing a pretty quick pace in between pitches.
Ready for pitch number 2. That one ripped into left field for a single. As Walpole wastes no time on that one.
Yeah, Walpole was not afraid of his fastball there. Let the curveball, the pitch before, go out of the zone, and then right there, Hanley pushes some gas and a quick swing out into left field.
Caden Amon, the starting pitcher tonight, will step into the box. Hitting .341 on the year. A nasty off-speed drops in for strike 1.
And it was a really rough inning, or half inning for Amon on the mound. Gave up 6 runs, but had to be able to let that be in the past because he's this team's top hitter as well. Decision goes down. Officials say Amon took a swing there. 0-2 count now, so Amon in a hole this time at the plate.
Hanley takes a look back at Walpole. He's on the move. That one drove into right field and fielded cleanly by Donor for out number 2.
And Walpole, 13 stolen bases, so have to watch out for his speed. Currently at first base, but should have a sizable leadoff here now with 2 outs.
Yeah, and with the 6-0 deficit early on, Elder can be a lot more aggressive on the base paths. As first pitch for Biggs, he'll take it for the team.
Yep, and Biggs, not a guy that the Comets wanted swinging, but Hanley can't afford give up those easy bases. It now brings up Curlis, who batting .300 on the season and the most extra base hits on the team. 6 doubles, 3 triples, 18 RBIs. He's having a great year.
He definitely is known for having some power in his bat. So we'll see, as he also is a flamethrower on the mound, but we'll see how he can do.
And we'll see
being on base. He's got the speed. We'll see if he wants to
if Walpole stays at first or if they're going to try to get him in scoring position. Rutherford on high alert as loses control of that one.
Is able to check the swing. Curlis, Bowling Green commit. Or signee, the senior.
1-0 count for Weigland. Hanley slowing the pace down after those first few batters. Second
Misses
pitch
the
low.
zone once again there with his off-speed 79 miles an hour.
Cross has 18 RBIs on the year, 433 slugging percentage. So he's
2-0 count for Curlis.
That one inside. Almost hit Curlis.
2-1 is Hanley. Same pitch, that one high.
Yeah, and the pitch before, Hanley was able to get a call on an inside. Drops it in this, tries to drop it in the same spot, but they're just a little high. So hitters count now for Curlis.
Hanley sends that one down the middle. Stevens will tag him out at third for the final out of the inning. Smart play from Stevens as Elder remains scoreless here After 1 inning, Comets, the 6-0 lead headed into the top of the second.
Start off this game, give
Mark Rutherford,
Comets, gave him the first run of their
first batter for the Comets, here to start the second inning. Saw him with the RBI double earlier.
Shondell was pitch number 1, and as
Yep, Rutherford got things going with the RBI extra base hit and then ended up scoring on his own.
pitch there, he was a little bit behind there. Try to see what Shondell has. He was a little bit behind there as he fouled off down in the right field, or down the left, third base.
Oh, 1 count. It's that one.
Shondell misses a little outside. All right, now.
Pins it on the
He got it.
outside corner.
Yep, evens the count.
You know,
2 count.
this umpire, Kleiner, he's got, you know, I think he's got a good zone. Maybe a little bit wider, but you know, if he's
0-2 for Rutherford.
He misses outside.
Change up low and outside.
Yeah, I was a good
Trying
Man.
to bring in the off speed.
when you get started off with a slider low and away, it gets kind of tough. And then that
1-2.
that really
It's Rutherford.
fastball.
Puts that one in the air
As he sends that one
down the left field line and fielded
Roden will get under
by
the net,
Roden.
first out.
Rutherford, there's missed times. That one a little bit pops it up in the air, but a fastball down the pipe. It was the right swing and brings up Anthony Sulik, who scored in his first at bat.
Sulik, I think, got walked.
He's 0 for 0 got walked.
And you can see the difference in the dugouts right now.
You got
Mason, a lot of confidence with this 6-0 lead.
Gets a shortstop here, but
Shortstop
do what you got to do. As
shows bunt but pulls back.
he shows bump and pulls back there.
Cord Shondell there's fired at strike 1. 0-1 count solo.
Pulls back on the strike, but that inside pitch would have been a hard one to bunt off.
Yeah,
Yep.
this guy's definitely got
Makes the
some
sacrifice.
So
And that pitch,
probably looking for a drag one here. But that's always
a little bit on the outside.
You got some, but you
Shondell
got
just
kind of
misses the
big
zone.
race, super fast, and also this infield with the turf infield, that ball's just going to keep rolling. So it's going to be tough to lay down some bunts tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Sulik watches
Hits
strike 2 on the inside corner.
You know,
Shondell been able to
doing a good job of
to find the corners of the zone.
do a good job of painting that inside and outside corner, because that's how you freeze
Sulik
get strikeouts.
in the air towards center,
Send that to center field, but Schneider will
and
get up
Schneider
for the
falls
second out of the inning.
right under it. A quick 2 outs, especially compared to that first inning, as Hutch Crociata will step up to the plate.
Yep, Shondell taking care of business once again with a 1-2 count. Throws it low, forces. This time it was Sulik
Left field.
to rip one, and it ends up being a pop-up into center field.
He's
Defense makes the play, so they're already in a much better spot in the second inning than they were at this point in the first.
We've seen the Comets put a lot of balls in the air tonight. Crociata thinks about.
But so far, the Panthers seem comfortable letting the Comets send those fly balls out. But they have 7 home runs as a team this year. At some point, that might backfire.
0-1 count for Crociata as Shondell
Fires it in.
delivers that one low.
To the outside.
Yeah, low and outside there.
To quote the famous Eric Mason, close but no cigar.
Yep.
No.
As he barely misses.
Once again, missed.
Barely misses that outside.
So Crociata now hitters in a good spot, 2-1.
Almost to a 2-1 count.
Yeah, and we saw Crociata get all the way around the bases last inning, one of the Comets' 6 runs.
6-0 game. Shondell
2-1 count, that one inside.
Misses inside.
And hitters count for Crociata.
Yep, and last time Crociata sliced it past the second baseman for a hit and RBI.
Yeah, he's got good command on his stuff.
And he'll wait for his pitch on the 3-1. That one
Nearly identical
shoots the
first
gap.
inning hit.
Second baseman playing very close to first base.
Has a little bit of 2-out magic here for Mason.
And Crociata rounding that.
Johnson steps up.
Elder ends up throwing it back to first base, trying to catch him. That's something I like about Crociata. You always see him running full speed to first, even right there when he had a pretty clear single, but Elder tried to catch him off guard.
Batting average. Looking continue.
The Elder defense will reset to more normal position now. So looking to turn.
Shondell Lowe's delivers.
Shondell drops in strike one.
Hits the outside corner.
Fires in for strike one.
It's Drew Johnson now up to the plate. And this is one of the youngest lineups we'll see the Comets play, with Crociata, Johnson, and then Sander playing first
He does not make a big
with Hanley on the mound. So 3 underclassmen
Yep,
on the field
Johnson,
tonight, or
the designated
non-seniors on the
hitter.
field tonight.
Yeah, so the young for the Comets isn't exactly young for most teams.
Exactly. 0-1 count for Johnson. See, gets a piece of that.
Gets him on the swing.
2 pitches
For an 0-2 count.
right down the zone for Johnson.
Probably gonna see some off-speed pitches.
They're not able to make contact.
This will really open up the toolbox here for Shondell. 0-2 count, 2 outs.
As a hitter, you gotta recognize that. Try to think the other way. Let
Pitch.
it off, it's outside the zone.
Good miss outside.
Yep. Takes
As Shondell
ball 1, and Johnson walked on his first at bat, but gonna have to fight back if he wants to
misses outside.
repeat that outcome.
1-2 count here, 2 outs.
1-2.
Shondell comes set.
Crociata jump around at first,
Throws over to first.
and he gets out.
He was able to
A quick turn from Shondell, and Crociata just a little bit too jumpy on first.
guy sleeping on the bag.
So to start the third, Johnson will return
Loving it.
to the plate, and that'll give Elder a little bit of momentum that they definitely need headed into the bottom of the second. One hit in the first inning for the Panthers, but did not elect in any runs. Elder looking to climb back from their 6-0 deficit. Again, I'm Adam Little, joined alongside my brother Andrew Little for regional semifinal action between the Comets and Panthers. And a hot start early for the Comets in that first inning, but Elder still got a lot of time left.
Yeah, both these teams looking for a rematch against Moeller, who won the first game. And right now the Comets looking like the favorite with that 6-0 lead.
2-0 count. That's Hanley's third pitch outside.
And Hanley struggling to find the zone so far. Now into the second inning, but was able to escape the first with no runs.
As Hanley will miss just high there. And Weigand will make his way to first. Hanley a little bit surprised on that call as he was just trying to pin it in.
Yep, close on the zone, but Hanley, his command lacking right now.
And we already saw Walpole try to steal one, so Rutherford on high alert with Weigand. Big lead at first. There's Hanley's off-speed drops into the zone for strike one.
Schneider now down 0-1, 243 on the season.
And he makes his move. Rutherford to second, and they miss it. Hart recovers in center field, but Rutherford's throw down to second just low, and Kelly couldn't scoop it in.
Weigand had some hesitation on that jump, but he had enough of a lead that it didn't matter, and then Comets missed the throw. Lucked out. That could have been another base.
Yeah, and Weigand got a little bit extra time with Hanley throwing the curveball there. 1-1 count. As Hanley will turn around. Weigand not afraid to take a big lead. Saw that deadly last inning for Crociata as he was thrown out at first.
Yeah, and Weigand now has 13 stolen bases on the year, so Hanley not going to make the same mistake twice.
That pitch in the dirt.
And misses with 92 mile-per-hour fastball.
Still struggling to find the zone with that fastball. Now down in the count, 2-1.
Get that front foot down early and just try to catch up with it.
Something else you want to do is as a batter.
They're going to say Schneider went 2-2 count now for Hanley. As Hanley mixing things up a lot.
And Schneider had to jump there. The threat of that fastball. You've got to start your swing early in there. Couldn't pull back in time.
2-2 pitch, and Hanley will drop it in for his first strikeout of the night.
Yeah, and that curveball from Jake Hanley is so deadly. 78 miles an hour, and just moves from away from the plate all the way down to the outside corner. Nothing Schneider could do there, but just watch it go by.
He's got 235 batting average, so definitely looking to try to get something going here for the Panthers, try to score their first run of the game.
Walter watches his first pitch high and inside. Walter, the senior first baseman, hitting 235 on the year. And they will check back at second again.
And Walter and Sandus, who's coming up next to the plate, the least experienced guys. Just 34 at-bats for Walter.
Hanley drops in another curveball. Won't get the call.
Yeah, an 80-mile-an-hour curveball. That's close to what Shondell's throwing on his fastball. So really tough to hit, but hasn't been finding the zone.
2-0 count, and Hanley will go right back with the fastballs, clocking in at 94.
Yeah, and that punch it's just impossible to hit unless you get that early start, and Walter couldn't catch up.
Big lead at second, and Hanley will
try to
Throw a little
make an adjustment, get used to
slow
keep on going.
slow ball back just to keep
Lolly-
Wigan in check a little bit.
Lollipops that keep Wigan honest.
Hanley comes set,
2-1.
fires.
Panthers show bunt. Hanley picks it up to first. The stretch by Sander. And runner will come home as Sander trips, but Rutherford will tag him out. And a double play for the Comets. Elder aggressive on the base pass, but does not pay off. And the Comets dugout clears as they're hyped.
Yep, and Wigan, Elder trying to trust his speed there. Already had a stolen base with a very, very risky decision to run there. It doesn't pay off, and a promising inning comes to a close.
6-0 still the score as we head into the top of the third here in Miami. Corbin Shondell, his first full inning, holds the Comets scoreless. Looking to bounce back as Drew Johnson steps back into the box after Crociata called out at first to end the second inning.
Johnson had a 2-2 count. Last time this is his second appearance.
Shondell, that pitch low.
Johnson walked in the first inning, and now on the road for that again. 2-0 count. Johnson
Takes ball 3 inside, and he'll get the take sign from Coach Bly.
and walks were the Panthers' kryptonite in the first inning.
That one 77 down the middle.
About as safe of a strike as you can throw, but Johnson with that 6-0 lead, not going to risk it on the 3-0 count.
Again, very big gap down the middle as Johnson hits that one to third. And good play by the third baseman, Biggs. He fired it over for the out. And it'll be Donor checking in the game.
And we talked about it. The numbers don't really do justice the threat that Donor brings. He's only hitting .211 this season, but as a junior, hit .340. He's a big threat. Has 2 doubles on the season, 8 RBIs. Or excuse me, 14 RBIs.
First pitch low.
try to find that
Donor,
first strike.
again, one of the 17 seniors on this Comet team.
Odds the at-bat.
And
And first
seems like we
pitch
talk
strike.
about it every broadcast, but again, 17 seniors is a pretty big number, Andrew.
Yeah, the Comets are making kind of what seems like a a last run. It's definitely going to be a reload season next year. And Donor's a part of that.
That one down the middle as Donor watches strike one.
It just leads to bad
And
at-bats.
so once again,
bad chances
Shondell fighting back from up from a 2-0 count.
to get guys on and get them in.
That one fouled left. And Andrew, pretty crazy to think about Shondell's fastball. He's thrown the last two pitches, clocking in at 80. And Jake Hanley's curveball, clocking in at 80.
Yeah, Hanley's even touched 81, so
Yeah.
he's outpaced a fastball from a pretty good pitcher at a couple times.
2-2 count for Donor.
But if he can match off-speed with it,
That one low and outside
as he does,
as the right fielder
away.
will get full count.
Count here.
You know, that's something else that I hear is that just the pitch, with the speed
And Donor with a test now.
pumping 94 miles per hour on his fastball. Shondell's throw about 77.
And Donor will head to first
Walks him here with the
as ball forward, way outside.
and now the center
That
fielder
pitch just got away from Shondell. Couldn't control it.
got hit in the first inning. Batting 2 out of 3 on the year, so doesn't have the best batting average, but definitely can do some damage as he's done.
Brings
so
up
far,
Brad Hart.
this game with an RBI.
Brad Hart, lowest average on the Comet
Hart
team,
steps in,
190.
Shondell looks, delivers, and gets the outside corner for strike one.
Called
so
strike
fans
one there.
might
Hart
like-
takes it
not like that call.
on the corner.
It was close, but definitely.
And
definitely
Andrew,
got that outside
An
corner.
interesting stat for this Comet team
First pitch is paint
is
that
they
outside
are
corner.
100%
Get that first
on the
pitch
base
strike.
paths this season as Hart flies that one high into right field.
Wagon under it. Gloves the
That's
crowd,
Wagon.
too.
So Hart, who had an
Falls underneath
RBI
it.
hit
Guy at first base.
in the first inning,
Just,
now pops out and brings up
just keep it
Kelly
low.
for his third at bat, and now the third inning.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, the Comets have not missed a steal all year long. Now 6-0 lead, Coach Bly is going to be very conservative on the base paths, but still, that's one of the many Comet stats that jumps out at you.
Yep, they're pretty jumpy at the bases, and those leadoffs pay off. Really hard to throw these guys out when they run.
Kelly watches ball one inside.
Definitely close there. He's been
Yep, and
hitting those
Kelly
low,
kind of had to
going outside
step
low
away from that
inside
pitch.
And he hasn't had a lot of wild pitches that are seen as definite
Kelly,
balls.
2 for 2 tonight.
If Shondell misses, it's either close.
Another one inside, that one
it's
low.
third as it does
Yep,
right
Shondell
there, falls to a 2-0 count.
struggling to find the zone these last
Shondell
couple
is
of
right there.
pitches.
That's what you gotta
That
do.
off-speed came in at 72 miles an hour.
Right there. Just keep trusting your stuff. Trust your
2 outs on the
mechanics,
board
because, you've
with
done
Donor
this
on first.
For how many years? How many innings have you thrown? How many pitches have you thrown? You got experience.
Should
behind
have called
you.
on the outside.
So just do what
Just
you've been
touches
doing for years. And,
the edge of the
success.
zone.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta be your own advocate out there on the mound. You gotta trust your work, trust your stuff. You just
2-1 count for Kelly.
should be innings. No. Get some
Shondell
outs.
delivers. Donor on his way, and Kelly drives that one into right center.
Deep.
And Donor has speed around the base passes. He's on his way home. Kelly gets the second.
Round third.
And another Comet runner comes in to score 7-0. The lead with 7 hits.
Yep. Kelling's 8th double of the season, RBI number 24. He's having a great year, and Casey Donor used the wheels to get around from first.
Great hit.
So Comets back on the board.
That's what you're
Shondell thought he might be able to get out of the inning, but Kelling pushed that one too far.
A lot of contacts if the Comets getting their bat to the ball. 0 strikeouts tonight as I knock on wood with the announcer's jinx. A common theme here in our broadcast booths.
Yep, a lot of discipline at the plate so far. Kelly not afraid to get deep into
looking to extend this 2-out
an
rally
at bat.
bases created here.
He fires in strike one.
Hanley
No, never mind.
will watch ball one.
Yeah. Yeah, the
But
Submarines
Hanley
got a small
was
strike
about ready to get back on the mound, but now with that second out, that 2-out run
and you just
at the plate, looking to
gotta
make a
face
play.
adversity there. And,
1-0 for
try to find a
Hanley.
way to throw strikes.
That one the same spot.
It's close.
Called a strike.
And Shondell's hit a lot of the same spots back to back. You know, the control sometimes hits the zone, sometimes it's a tad off.
Guy on second, look to see what you can do.
1-1, 2 outs. Kelly a speed threat at second. As Kelly, or Hanley waits on the off speed. Kelly making his way home. Hanley thought about going to second, but smartly stays at first. And Kelling comes in for his first run of the night. And an 8-0 lead here in the third inning.
Obviously, you want to utilize your best pitch arsenal. You know, when you're playing a hitter like Jake Hanley, you really can't throw a curveball in the zone against that kid. And right there, like you said, he was patient, waited on it, rips it right down the gap, and an easy single that, you know, he had a chance to leg out as a double. And now another mound visit for Elder.
Yeah, and like you said, Hanley's such a patient hitter. But part of the reason for that is his bat speed is MLB level.
I mean,
So
there's a reason this is one of the top high school prospects in the Midwest.
As Elder will make a pitching change, and we'll head to a quick break. Comets hold the 8-0 lead here in just the top of the third. Top of the third, 2 outs. Pitching changed for Elder. It'll be Zach Barnes, the junior righty, stepping onto the mound.
Up to the plate for Mason, the third baseman.
And Drew Stevens, he
He
scored twice tonight.
Go by for strike one. 0-1 count here.
As count even at 1-1. Stevens, one of the most consistent hitters on this Comet team, batting .380, 16 RBIs, and he added a few on earlier tonight as well. Hanley thought about going to second, but stays back. 2-1 count for Stevens.
2 outs.
And only 3 innings in, we've already seen 3 different pitchers for the Panthers as Stevens fouls. 4th pitch of his at-bat back.
Looks like he might have caught his hand with that foul ball.
Zach Barnes. Most velocity we've seen so far from Elder tonight. I see like his fastball.
Get hit in your throwing hand, definitely not waiting for it. Yeah, especially when you're down 8-0.
2-2 with 2 outs. Hanley on his way. That pitch fouled back.
Hanley went there, but he's going to have to reach back to first base.
Hanley was ready to go,
The foul ball.
but Stevens is 1 for 2. today with one run.
He fouls it off, so he has to go back to first base here. Wonder if he's going to go once again.
2-2 count again.
Decides to stay.
As that one
Stevens
popped into right field.
up to right field. And
As Wigan pulls it in. He's had a busy night out there in right field. He pulls in the third out. Comets tack on 2 more runs here in the top of the third. 8-0 to lead here at Hayden Park. Bottom of the third now. Cooper Sandus up to the plate. The catcher. Seen a few nice defensive plays from him so far tonight. We'll see if he can get it done.
He's been
in the box
keeping
as well.
Now 3 pitchers from Elder in check. That's impressive.
As we have a pitching change.
And a pitching change for the Comets is going to be Connor Eggleton on the mound, the Bellarmine commit.
Yep, and the senior. This is the biggest game he's ever pitched in. And
That pitch just misses the zone.
Nearly clipped the zone. And Sandist, the 9th hitter in this lineup. The Comets already in, Kelly and a couple guys have already hit 3 times. So shows you the difference we're seeing.
Yeah, and I like this pitching change by Coach Bly, keeping some of your normal arms fresh, but Comets such a deep pitching room that Connor Eggleton, your 5th or 6th pitcher, and he's a Division I baseball.
Yeah, going to Bellarmine. That's a nice spot to be in. And Eggleton, not one of the first guys out of the pin.
Nice pitch inside, just inside.
Yeah, Comet fans don't love it. So now back to the top of the lineup, and this is where Eggleton will really face a test. And I like the decision to pull Hanley, even though no runs allowed. Hadn't been pitching his best, is struggling to find the zone, and it keeps him available potentially in the bullpen for tomorrow against Moeller.
Considering the Comets make it to tomorrow, as that ball gets past Rutherford. And Sandus thought about going to third.
Yeah, the chemistry between Eggleton and Rutherford not quite there the way it is with Hanley, one of the regular starters, and there isn't able to get in front of that pitch.
You saw Eggleton have a nice game on senior night against the South Comets. Came down with a loss, but Eggleton pitched an inning and had a good game, as they're going to call a balk.
Yeah, been tough spot now with a man on third. And now Just your second batter of playoff pitching.
Eli Roden takes
That pitch low, blocked by Rutherford.
ball 2. 2-0 count. Eagleton a little shaky on so far.
Also see Eric Schmulowitz
Yeah, you know, as a
getting
pitcher,
ready on the
you need to learn
bullpen for
how
the
to,
Comets.
pitch with the lead. You don't have to worry about big hits or anything because you've got a.
And that one,
It's the bottom of the zone, so 2-1 count for Eggleton now.
Late strike call there. Eggleton will take that.
2-1 count.
2-1 as he delivers that one in between second and third. And that'll bring Elder's first run of the game in. Cooper Sandus,
And,
his 8th run of the year.
and that one pushed near third base, and if Stevens didn't have a guy at the bag that he had to keep an eye on, might have been able to get there. And so situationally, that's a great hit from Eli Roden, the leadoff man, and trying to start a spark.
No outs. Runner on first. Elder could potentially get something started here as they show bunt. Misses the third base line.
And Walpole has shown off his speed today, and he has 13 stolen bases on the year. And almost had a great bunt.
Yeah, and down 7 runs. Going to be aggressive on the base pass in such a big game, winner go home with a newer pitcher on the mound. Try and test him out a little bit. Eggleton delivers. That one turns on it early, but pulls foul.
Yep. And that was Walpole's pitch, but like you said, timing was off. Sent that one foul, but Eggleton can take a deep breath after that.
Yeah, a little in front of it on that off-speed pitch there.
0-2 count.
2-2 count as Roden a big lead at first, and Eggleton, the lefty, will check on him at first.
Yep. Been staring down Roden before these windups. And Roden goes right back. That one was close. As Hanley, who's moved over to first base from the mound, reached down for the tag.
Not changing his lead. So that one grounded to Stevens. Sends it to second. Comets try to turn 2, but doesn't make it in time.
It was a great stretch from Hanley, but Walpole, with that speed, able to get the first. I think most batters get thrown out there.
Yeah, and just a slight hesitation from Kelly at second, and that was all the time Walpole needed.
And, disappointed that you're not getting the double play, but it's much better than making an error, which we've seen the Comets make in a couple big games this year, trying to turn a double play.
Eggleton misses on his off speed.
He's 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out. Right up. Did he 0 for 1? He might have struck out. I don't know.
Eagleton delivers, but Amon fouls it back.
Amon, starting pitcher tonight, gave up 6 runs in the first inning.
85-mile-per-hour fastball there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely a little slower for him.
And again, we talked about it in the first, but can't let that pitching performance affect his offensive performance.
He's definitely a threat. Didn't find the base on his first appearance in the first inning, but he's batting .340 on the year. Has a 406 on base, 440 slugging percentage. He's a threat for sure.
2-1 count for Amon. Rips that one in between the gap,
just to the left of Stevens' glove. So now, man on first and second, Eggleton in a little bit of trouble with that one out. Man, that double play would have been humongous, but you know, baseball, a game with those little plays.
And Biggs, one of the power threats for this Elder team, cleanup hitter, 2 runners on. That's exactly what the Panthers need here in the third. Eggleton, first pitch, gets it in the zone.
Yeah, Biggs testing out. Eggleton lets that one go by.
0-1 count.
Just try to give your team the best chance.
Eggleton goes back with the same pitch. That one outside.
Yeah, that one off speed. 66 miles an hour, dropped almost 10 miles an hour from the pitch before.
Yeah, he's been missing a little arm side there, so trying to,
One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
trying to aim a little bit low and inside.
And misses there as that one will hit Biggs. Bases loaded for Eggleton. 1 out.
Eggleton looks rattled now. Yeah, like, as he's loaded the bases. Just 1 out. Starting to look like Caden Eamon's situation in the first inning. He had 1 out, but bases loaded. Wasn't able to get out of the hole, and now facing the heart of the lineup, Braden Curtis, Bowling Green, signee, one of the best batters in the GCL. Is a tough matchup.
Against West Claremont, not West Claremont, Kings last Tuesday, I think it was.
Important batter for Eggleton. His first pitch outside. Again, Schmolowitz getting warmed up in the bullpen. I think if Eggleton gives up 1 more hit, it might turn to Schmolowitz in the bullpen.
Yeah, looked for a change.
That one hit up the middle. Hart fields it, hits his cutoff, or gets past his cutoff man. Stevens able to recover. 2 runners come in for Elder as they tack on 3 in the 3rd. Coach Bly will head to the mound.
Yeah, Ben, this likely going to be it for the senior Eggleton.
Mason does have some action over in the bullpen there.
Still 5-run
Take him out, not quite sure.
5-run lead so far for the Comets, but playoff baseball, anything can happen.
Yeah,
and
5
Coach
runs.
Bly's wanting to keep as big of a lead as possible.
Certainly not the same as 8, and might have been a premature change at pitcher with the 8-run gap, and still a lot of time for Elder to come back in this game, and they've got all the momentum right now.
And after a long meeting, they will decide to change pitchers.
It definitely is their change of pitchers. As the Panthers
Now Hanley's going to the dugout to change his glove.
This is 8-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. We're going to take a quick break. This is your person chili call up.
And it looks like he's going to head back to the mound.
And, I don't know if I've ever seen this.
Yeah, high school baseball don't do that very often. So they were trying to save Hanley's arm for a potential win tomorrow.
Yeah,
Win
this
for
could
tomorrow's
be a
game,
short-term change as well with the lineup. Schmolowitz, who's been in the bullpen, a lefty. Hanley, the righty. Might just want him here to get out of the jam with these particular bats coming up to the plate.
Yeah, and Elder, a full righty lineup.
And yeah, feel more confident with the right on right coming in to get out of the jam than you would with Schmolowitz. Similar to Eggleton, doesn't get as much action, but has had some great outings. Pitched really well against Kings at Prasco Park.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break as Hanley won't need a lot of time to warm up. He already had 2 innings. But he will be back on the mound for the Comets as they have the 5-run lead over the Elder Panthers. And Elder batter certainly not thrilled as Jake Hanley steps back onto the mound.
Yeah, the difference in velocity is going to be a big change here.
Yeah.
Definitely know how to put bat to the ball.
Curla shows bunt. Shows bunt on his first.
Yeah, and no hesitation from Hanley. Rips out a 93-mile-an-hour fastball on his first pitch.
That one missed the zone, but Definitely an adjustment from Eggleton, more known for his off speeds.
Eggleton was throwing a lot of those off speeds.
That one gets past Rutherford.
That pitch goes past Rutherford.
So both runners will advance a base.
The Comets fortunate that they didn't have anybody at third. That would have been another run.
And that's what,
And Hanley
if you're a Mason fan, that's exactly
frustrated with himself.
Wide backstop here at Hayden Park. But we've also seen the balls get a lot of hang time from Rutherford as well.
Try to get your guys out of a jam. Well, as a pitcher, you
Early 2-0 count for Hanley and Comets.
Deal, throw strikes.
Starting to lose momentum. As that pitch inside.
Misses inside. He falls to a 3-0 count. He's really keeping that fastball in there, but
It's been a struggle to hit the zone all game long for Hanley. Coming back into the game, that hasn't changed.
That one down the middle.
That one's in there for strike one, 3-1 count.
3-1 count. And Hanley, like you mentioned, didn't have his best outing with his off speeds earlier. So we'll see if he just elects to try and just fire him in for this inning. But that one inside, and bases will load. And that'll bring Mason Schneider to the plate for the Panthers.
let's see what he can do here.
Yep, and Hanley getting the real test now with the bases loaded.
Just put something past the infield.
And Schneider
Even a sac fly will do you good because you got a guy.
struck out his first at bat.
As he
Pumps in strike one.
Drops in his curveball for strike one.
looks like that
An 81 mile an hour
maybe
curveball.
outside corner there. Definitely close, but clip that outside corner and gets the first pitch strike there.
0-1 count. He'll go back with the same thing.
Another
That one
slider,
low.
Same spot, but called a ball this time. 1-1
Yep.
on the count.
Just a little below the zone.
Got one out.
There from Hanley, even count 1-1.
Looking to
with
do some
one
damage,
out.
Try to, as they cut the lead down to 5, see what they can cut it down to 4.
Fires
one.
back with the fastball, and Rutherford barely got his glove there in
Way
time.
up high. Rutherford. There's a lot of height on this team with Hanley. Rutherford
Yeah, this guy's definitely
used every inch he has to stretch for that.
on the gun. And he's got to put that one in the zone.
That one popped into left field. Crociata
Deep
gets
left
underneath
field,
it.
but he's
That's going to give enough time
and he's going to easily score. As
for Biggs to
Bowers
come in.
cuts the lead down.
Evan Biggs, who's been hit by a pitch twice today,
Mason now.
gets that validation of run scored.
Baseman Zach Walter's going to come up to the plate.
And now just a 4-run game.
Elder cuts their deficit in half in the third inning. Elder definitely in this game.
Walter's 0 for 1 so far today, but looking to redeem himself here. And he's got
2 outs
Score position.
as he shows bunt.
Shows bunt, but misses it. Good placement by the pitcher there. Definitely don't want to make it easy for the guy to bunt. To put out of the zone. What a lot of people like to do
Walter
is try to jam it up
out
and down
his
the guy
first
when he should
appearance.
bunt, because then maybe he'll pop out of the zone a little bit.
He
Time
did the
called
second
as
inning.
Walter will step out of the box.
So allow the batters to pop it up. And that's what we want from a pitcher when Josh
Runners on first and second, 1 strike.
as he deals. And gets
Curveball
the slider in there.
inside.
Strike 2.
And
0-2
hits the
count
corner
on
of the zone.
2 outs. Trying to get that 2-strike approach, trying to come on the bat. Yeah, maybe hit it the other way, as you're probably going to see some fastballs.
0-2, and Hanley goes back with the exact same pitch and fires it in. He's hyped after that one.
Get him out of the jam.
His Comets
But the damage
are
is
able to
done.
escape, but Elder puts a big dent in the Comets' lead. 8-4 now the score, headed into the top of the 4th here in Oxford, Ohio. Rutherford
21.
first up for the Comets here to start off the 4th inning, and Elder definitely more than back in this game now after that bottom of the 3rd, Andrew.
Yep.
Looking to try to do some damage,
And
but
Rutherford
he gets a dribbler.
rips that one up to the 3rd
Big
baseman.
slides over first base.
And a nice stretch there by the first baseman, Walter.
In just the nick of time.
And that one just came off
Leadoff batter out at first
the inside
base.
of Rutherford's bat.
Yeah, and like we were saying, for a while, it looked like the Comets were able to play on cruise control offensively, up 8-0, but that just changed in the bottom of the 3rd. Elder put up 4 runs, so Comets need to get the foot back on their on the gas pedal.
Easily take that momentum and try to score some runs there.
Sulik starts off swinging as he fouls back. First pitch. Zach Barnes still on the mound.
I'm pretty sure I think he got walked last time up.
Sulik
275 average.
nearly
pitch.
gets hit there.
Very inside.
Jumps out of the way of that one for ball 1.
Sulik walked and scored in the 1st inning.
1-1 for Sulik. As that one, shortstop backhands it. And we'll see what they call him. They call him out. Unbelievable play at short from Jaden Walpole.
Just got him. A lot of
And that was a
fans
close one, and Comets
including the first base carry.
And
definitely
Comet fans
chatting
frustrated
it up
after
with
that
the
one.
umpire after that. And Sulik, he's got a lot of speed. Thought he was going to be able to run that one out, but the throw gets in just in time. Walpole and Walter connect for another great play.
Yeah,
So
that
all
was
of a
a
sudden-
good backhanded scoop there from Walpole.
Yeah, that was a great play. That was very close.
Didn't have a great view on it. Trying to look at the replay.
I thought that was safe, but you know, I think he was out. Yeah, that was an amazing play by Walpole.
That'll put 2 outs on the board as Crociata steps into the box.
Barnes fires in strike 1. Barnes misses for ball 1.
And
That ball called strike, 1-1. Or 0-2, excuse me.
Barnes comes set, deals, misses that fastball.
That
way
one
high
offside.
For 1-2 count. And you know, with 2 strikes on the guy, that's where you're gonna miss. You don't want to.
Crociata,
Yeah, definitely.
2 for 2 so far, has an RBI, scored the 1st inning, but now down 1-2.
Easy opportunity for a strike.
Crociata watches it.
Sanchez
It
blocked
just
that
misses
ball.
the outside
Really
corner.
wanted that one,
But yeah, Crociata, I mean, again, just,
yes,
I don't want to call him a surprise for this Comets team, but really he's just climbed up their lineup. We saw one of his first big games, Prasco against Kings, had a big-time RBI.
He was trying to get him
But ever since then, he's been on fire as he chases strike 3.
but a good
And Elder,
for strikes.
all the momentum in their favor as they are hyped up, headed into the bottom of the 4th, 8-4 the score.
As we head to the bottom of the fourth.
Bottom of the
inning
fourth
here.
now as Cooper Sandez,
Still
the
got an 8-4 lead,
9-hole
but,
hitter for Elder, will step into the
the
box.
nine-hitter, the catcher Cooper Sandez is looking to turn that around.
And
as he
we've
steps
commented
up to
on
the plate.
Sandez's defensive play tonight, looking to translate that the other direction as well as he watches.
So interesting move by
Ball
Mason
one.
here. They
Yep,
started off
Sanders,
with,
120 hitter on the season.
and they took him out for a little bit there. But they brought
Sandez
it back
shows
in.
bunt. Nice frame by
Sanders
Rutherford.
shows bunt there for
And
full back.
patience from Sanders.
But I
Walked
guess the
in
rule is if
his
he
first
never
at-bat,
plays
ended
the
up
field,
scoring
and that he did,
in that
which
4-run
went and played the field.
rally
You're
last
able to
inning.
bring him back in a pitch. So I never knew that rule before now. But yeah, so he started this game, and now he's also relieving this
Hanley starting to pick up the tempo just like he did
game. As
in the
almost-
first
almost
inning.
hit
As a
Sanders
3-1
there,
now.
But falls to a 3-1 count with no outs here.
Hanley.
Fires that one low.
Low and away.
And Sandez will make his way to first.
Sandez will get on to first
Sandez.
base.
Back-to-back innings where he's led off, and he's led off with a walk.
Stolen bases here, as he currently has 3 on the year.
Up's throwing up peace signs. Up looks like he's throwing up some signs.
We've seen Elder jumpy on the base pass.
1 for 2 on the day. Batting 323.
Hanley drops that one in for strike one.
Hanley drops that in for strike 1.
And that's that off-speed. That's where he's had the most success.
He's definitely got a good
Finding
feel
the
for it.
zone.
Does not like to chase much, but we'll see. We'll see what he draws up here. Sanders is held on tightly at first base.
Big pause from Hanley, and
Sanders
really was
drops a
another
curveball for strike 2.
curveball in.
9 miles per
Yep,
hour
and that
curveball.
curveball's been successful, and not a lot of swings on it. Looks like it's going off the, out away from the zone, then comes back in. So tough to hit.
Pitches today, as Elder's just watching him go by for strikes, and if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
And Roden will step out.
Just throw an off speed, and
0-2 count.
Elder just keeps
Hanley
on
opens
letting
up his
it go
toolbox,
Roden calls time.
checks on Sanders at first, and delivers.
down.
That one
Out, drills it out to right field.
into center,
But,
fielded
Hart
easily by Hart,
that one.
and Sanders will make his way back to first for out number 1.
Yeah, and after 2 curveballs with an 0-2 count, I think Roden was expecting the fastball there in the zone, able to hit it, but
Step it up now, Gene.
Hart routine fly out.
1 for 2 on the day. Bat 358.
And
Now the shortstop comes up, looking to get some
Heyman up to the
damage
plate now, and
As he
checks swings.
check swings but misses there.
Says the umpire.
Walpole, excuse me.
Ben Walpole's made some plays today in the field on the bases, and on the season at the plate, 354 hitter.
Hanley.
0-1
fires.
count. Hanley.
As Bolt will
That
send
one.
into right field, might drop.
Donor, a diving effort, and he pulls it in.
Donor will get to that one for the
Great
diving
tracking from Donor in right field, facing the sun. Doesn't matter. Brings down a tough catch now. 2-out situation here for Elder with Eamon.
1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, it's been beautiful weather for baseball. Sitting around low 70s
Yeah,
all
Kid
game
is
long.
definitely a talented hitter. And, dude, I'm
Aiden
saying that
single his last at bat, ended up scoring a run.
On the move.
As he's hitting
runner
the head.
goes. runner
Hanley,
goes
his
to, but
second
just drilled in the back of the head.
runner he's hit today. Eggleton hit once. That's 3 total for Elder.
Thompson marches out.
Yep, and Tyler Biggs has to be shaking in his boots. He's been hit both times by
Yeah.
2 different pitchers, and now
Big steps up to
the batter before him hit, and Biggs coming back up to the plate and hasn't really had a chance to hit.
hit twice this game.
And Hanley's just been trying to work that off speed inside.
Bat
Didn't get enough turn on it.
So now a runner in scoring position for Biggs, who has 16 RBIs this season.
Guy on first and second.
That's 3rd on the Panthers.
Do
It's a
something
big at bat
to
for
get the ball
Biggs.
in the outfield. Try to get
Rutherford
that guy over, try to
knocks that one
try to
down.
score him. You gotta find a way to get on base and help your team win.
as he checked swings and was able to hold for ball 1.
1-0 delivery.
Sizable leadoff at first and second. Hanley
There, try to keep him close.
Has to turn back.
Now the 1-over delivery. That one outside and low.
Hanley misses low and outside.
Now to Sandus at second. Eamon at first.
Yeah, when they're up in the count like this, you're definitely looking
Comets
for something
infield
in the zone.
staying back though, as they're just looking to get that
Nice pitch to hit.
third out.
Try to get your guy over.
Good ball in the zone there from
Have him score.
the senior.
Yep, and goes back to his bread and butter, that curveball in the zone, and with the 2-0 count, Biggs lets it go past him.
Biggs looking for something.
So a little bit of confidence for Hanley.
2-1.
Biggs
That
loves
one
it.
just left of third base.
Once again, rolls with that off speed.
Tyler
Biggs a little bit
Very,
late.
Very interesting kind of baseball player. Wasn't heavily, not I wouldn't want to say recruited, wasn't heavily looked at by Elder or just in general. But
2 balls, 2 strikes,
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 outs.
Got 2-2-2 here.
That one inside zone.
Watches ball 3.
And
Definitely close.
that
Almost
came
flipped that corner, but close but no cigar there.
about a baseball width away from hitting Biggs for a third time.
One of those
3-2 now, full count.
Made it.
2 runners on. That one ripped to Stevens. Knocks it down. Diving effort. And he's out. Stevens
Diving
saves himself there
gets him out at third.
and saves the Comets.
Could have been a game-changing error, and then Stevens bounces back, and that's the second time he's tagged somebody out at third. Ends the inning.
Very athletic play.
8-4 headed into the bottom of the 4th. Comets haven't really been able to get their bats moving since the first inning. So we'll head to a quick break. Comets up 8-4.
Top of the 5th inning here.
Top of the 5th. 8-4 the score. It's been a very eventful past few innings.
We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Good thing you're medically not.
As first pitch swung on by Johnson, and that'll be a fly out to left field.
As a
Eli Rader will
Yep, and a
keep
quick
looking
swing
for the one
from
pitch
Drew Johnson and a quick out.
Zach.
And so Donor, who made a diving catch in right field last inning, now up to the plate, looking to get a spark for the Comets. They scored 2 runs in the 3rd inning, but a 1-2-3 4th inning.
And still on the mound is Zach Barnes, the longest tenured pitcher so far tonight from Elder.
Yep, and Barnes, he's been dealing.
make them succeed. I like that a lot about Sandus.
No runs allowed, and
Says Coach
Almost 2 innings. 1 strikeout.
That ball outside. Sandus tried to frame it.
Donor, just a very patient hitter. He's walked twice. He scored once.
1-0, and that one in the same spot. This misses outside.
Casey Donor, the right fielder, looking to create some top fifth inning action here. Trying to start basing off.
2 over Donor.
Get some
That
guys
one
on and try to extend their lead.
low as Donor stays very patient. That's a hard ball to lay off.
Absolutely. That one dropped late. It takes a lot of discipline to let it go. Trust your instincts.
And he will watch
Yep, same
4
spot.
straight balls.
And not the way you want to go after a quick first out. So essentially, that's his first test of the inning. And now brings up Brad Hart. And Barnes have been pitching really well. That was his first walk he's given up.
Checks back at first. Donor makes it back with plenty of time.
And Barnes is good with that. He's good at checking the runner. Looking over there frequently. Mixing his
First
looks
pitch
and just,
to hard as
trying to keep
slide
the
step.
runner close. Try not to
Ball
allow him to
outside.
steal his outing.
Yeah, definitely. Barnes is good at picking off batters, not batters, runners.
5 straight balls
Keeping them honest. It's something this whole outer
from Barnes.
staff is pretty solid at. Is keeping the runners on
That one in the
on their
dirt.
toes. As he fires in strike 1.
1-1 on the count. Got one out.
Bottom
here.
of the
Down
zone
first
there.
base. Mason's looking to do some damage. Try to,
We've got some
as
officials
for
to the
more
or
insurance,
umpires to the right of us
Elder had an amazing
watching this
bottom
game, and
third inning.
be
And,
up in the
scored
next
4
the
runs,
next
started
regional
all the way
series.
back into this
1-2
game.
count now.
Donor, modest lead at first.
I'm sorry. I wish it was Mason.
Checks back at Donor again.
Barnes throws over. Trying to keep him honest over there at first base. Not allowing big leads at all over there. No chances to allow him to steal.
1-2 count.
1-2 to Hart. A timeout
Call
call.
time. Hart
Step out.
has a hit and an RBI in this game.
Donner's really making
In that first.
Donner's really making Barnes look over there. Dancing
Pretty long
all
game
over
so
there.
far. An
His moving
hour
speed,
40
looking like he's trying to be a little
through
jumpy.
4
Has a
innings.
nice
Donor on his way.
drill
That
one
one drilled into
to
right field.
Wide
Comes
open
underneath
above
it.
that one.
And Donor will have to make his way back to first.
Throw it back in.
Weigand fights off the sun there, tracks down the catch, and makes it so Donor can't get to second.
Yeah, both Weigand and Donor have both had a tough task out there in right field.
Alex Cohen will step up to the
Not a very friendly angle from the sun.
Absolutely not. Now Kelling back up to the plate once again,
Flip back to the top
and
of the
he's
order.
this for his 4th at bat. He's got 2 hits, including an RBI double.
2 for 3 on the day. Is having an outstanding night. His batting average of 357, so he's definitely having a good year. And
Strike
looking
1 goes
to,
by.
Has some two out, a little bit of a 2-out rally here. So watch strike 1. Runner goes.
Donor on the move.
Sanders will drop that one on the transfer.
Won't even make a throw down. Donor easily makes it.
No attempt there made.
Yep,
Donor's
Sandus.
got some serious speed around the base paths.
As,
Yep, Donor so quick from his jump to a full sprint, and Sandus, who was trying to pop up quicker than usual, ended up dropping it. Didn't even make that attempt at second because Donor was already there.
Big lead at second.
Barnes delivers.
So that one
And gets one
down the third base line. Donor on his way home.
Yep, green
Kelly
light.
to second.
Goes over to
And that is the exact same scenario we saw
and he gets it
in the 3rd inning
will get a double here.
as Donor makes his way home from first.
Yep, and Kelling first. It was a shot in between left and center, and that right there places that one perfectly along the third base
Excuse
line.
me, around from second.
That was a great piece of hitting there. Starting to get down
So now 3 for 4. Kelly having a heck of a game. He's been coming up big this year. The Ohio State commit.
Yeah, 2 big doubles so far tonight. The Comets extend their lead to 5, and a pitching change for Elder.
Yeah, you're talking about how it's been kind of a long game so far, almost an hour and 45 in. I think the numerous pitching changes we've had plays a role. Even though the Comets only pitched 2 guys, Hanley's changed in there. Unique situation. Now Elder's 4th pitcher. So
yeah, I'm a little surprised we're seeing Barnes check out of the game. That only his first run allowed, but by far the best pitching performance tonight from any of the Panthers.
Yeah, Barnes was pitching really well. Went 5 batters with his straight outs before giving up a walk, and now they're going to turn away.
So we'll see how Rhoda can respond here.
And we'll head to a quick break as Elder pitching change after the Alex Kelly double brings in Donor. Jay Canley steps into the box after the pitching change. It'll be Eli Roden coming in from left field.
The leadoff man making the move to the mound. And can't get a tougher task than this with Jake Hanley.
Hanley fouls the first pitch off. Lefty on lefty matchup here.
Definitely strategic decision from Elder to put Roden in against Hanley. That one gets away.
He's definitely a flamethrower. We're an 83 in there. 1-1 on the count with 2 outs and a guy on second base.
1-1 count for Hanley. Fouls that one back.
Pops that one up. Might stay in, but just goes out.
Yeah, that pitch.
Somebody just got himself a souvenir.
Shot like a rocket to the Elder fans.
The crowd is chanting, throw it back, but the fan will not throw it back.
I don't blame him. I'm keeping that souvenir.
So Hanley with a 1-2 count now.
Yeah. People look back on this historical game.
Roden delivers. That one high. Nice save from Sandez. Sandez, very impressed with him behind the plate tonight. He'll trot to the mound just to calm Roden down a little bit.
Come out of a squat, too. So that's pretty crazy.
So now 2-2-2 on the board.
Bottom line is it's a 2-2 count for Hanley.
Roden's definitely not, a pitcher. He's more of a position player. So Sanders will go out there and tell him, hey, just calm
Jake
down.
Hanley 1 for 2 today with 2 RBIs and a walk.
2-2 pitch.
2 outs.
In the dirt.
As he gets the punch
Excuse me, I had a bad angle on that.
backwards
as he gets the punch out. Hanley didn't like the call. He thought it was low. That'll be a big momentum shift for Elder as they allow just one run in the top of the 5th. Big Curlis leading off the Panthers here in the bottom of the 5th. Hanley's first pitch too high in the zone as he fires back a fastball inside. That one drilled into center, but Hart falls underneath it for out number 1.
Hart, the senior, very experienced out in the outfield. No trouble with that one. And so it's a quick first out. Brings up Ben Wygant. And Wygant got thrown out. Kind of a controversial play a few innings ago. Has a lot of speed if he can get on the bases.
Hanley delivers strike 1.
You know, when guys are this close to their PRs, this deep in the game, and this many pitches, it just shows that this guy's got great stamina.
Nuts off speed there, drops in for strike number 2.
Wygant walked his first 2 at bats, but 0-2 count here. That's looking unlikely.
Wygant can't get a piece of strike number 3. So that's Hanley's 3rd strikeout of the game.
And that's his signature, the off speed in the zone.
Try to start out with a little bit of a 2-out rally here for the Panthers. Try to start something up. But yeah.
It'll be Mason Schneider.
It's definitely not showing signs of fatigue.
Has an RBI today.
94, that one dials in at an entry. 5 innings into the game, 4 innings in for Hanley. Still clocking in at 94.
If that arm doesn't wear out when it comes to velocity.
And apparently not off speeds either as he drops that one in for another 0-2 delivery. That one low.
Yep. Just below the zone, and on an 0-2 count, the zone shrinks a little bit.
I haven't seen Hanley throw a lot of changeups so far tonight. 1-2 now. And going to get punched out there. And Schneider's not happy with that call. That one falls in the low outside corner, so Hanley makes it quick in the 5th inning. 2 more innings to go here at Hayden Park. Top of the 6th
Just got word Jacob Hanley to Mason Flame.
as first pitch in the dirt.
Shout out to you, Jacob. Congrats on your incredible year. Very strong pitchers.
And Drew Stevens
Pumping 94s as a high schooler.
into the box.
Congrats to you.
Yeah, definitely very talented player. He's also a great hitter too.
Yeah, definitely.
Curveball 8, or excuse me, changeup 82 down.
And Roden keeping a quick pace in between pitches. And might want to slow down a little bit. It's now 3-0. Drew Stevens, who's 1 for 3 on the day, he scored in the first inning. Likely gonna let this one pass.
That one high, 4 pitches, and Drew Stevens will trot over to first. Mark Rutherford, he's had a nice day so far.
Yep, one of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup. Rutherford had an RBI earlier in the game. Shot one to the right field fence for a double.
At some parts, that ball would have been out as he made it all the way to the warning track.
Looks like he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, I think so.
That pitch right down the middle. See, watches strike 1.
Or no, I'm sorry. Flips a corner there, strike 1. Looked high from here, but guess it clipped that corner. Love it.
He's back at first.
Throws over. Try to pick off Stevens there.
Roden, the lefty.
For 12 on the year for stolen bases. So
That's a nice view at first, and Stevens is a very large lead. That one fouled back.
straight back.
0-2 count now.
I think that hit off the yes, I think that yes, either it hit blue or it hit just hit
Give it time.
Home plate umpire Matthew Kleiner will have a quick visit at the mound.
Yeah. Parlay. I wonder what they're talking to about. Maybe he didn't come set quite quick enough.
I think they might be talking about that
Guy on first base, or maybe
that throw over a few
trying to
moments
quick
ago.
pitch, but doesn't quite come set. So I wonder what Sand over here. Maybe he's just trying to give Sanders a little break. Try to catch his breath and continue on here. Top 6 innings.
Rutherford gets some rest, not come back to the plate.
Down 0-2 with no outs. Stevens at first.
Ready to come set.
The lefty delivers. That pitch high.
Way high.
Sanders has had his work cut out for him today.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Hard play to make for the catcher, but an easy decision to make for Rutherford there, letting that one fly.
Not throwing many strikes.
Quick delivery.
Gets the
Rutherford
off-speed
late on
pitch,
the off
loses
speed.
it.
Little blooper to second, easily pulled in by Curlis.
Yep, and that curveball came in at 65 miles an hour, so late on an off speed. Not super typical, but 65 miles an hour, that's slower than what Rutherford's probably used to on a curve, especially in BP if you're going against Jake Hanley, who's dropping that at 80 miles an hour. And so it was Rutherford's pitch, but can't time it.
And that one dropped late, so I think that was going to be high, but had to put a swing on it because he would have been.
Yep, 0-2, you can't be picky.
Can't be picky.
Curtis steps over and fires it to first
Fires it
base.
to first. And Stevens is a little frustrated. I think he wanted a balk there. He was talking to the ump about something.
Stevens is pointing at
And Roden, not the most experienced pitcher on this Panthers lineup, so they're going to be watching for that.
Pitch 1 high. Suluk again hitting 278 on the year and hitting 5th today in the lineup, a little higher than he normally does. Stevens on his way to second,
goes
and Sandus doesn't make the throw over.
And Sulik got the signal for the take there, and Stevens, steal number 13 of the year.
Would call it a stand-up steal, but he dove for the style points.
guy not coming from a slide step, and he's just going to go automatically, especially with the guy with speed. It's going to make it hard.
Check swing from Roden,
It's going to definitely make it hard.
and they'll say safe.
Yeah, top of the zone there, so a tough call, but Sulik wins out 2-1.
Went around there, but first base umpire
2-1 for Sulik.
Braden deals.
That one low,
Bounces. Sandus throws the third.
and
He holds
Stevens
back.
lucks out. Sandus
Looks like it could be close
doesn't
there.
throw over. I thought Sandus would at least try and make an effort for it, but
Not trying to
Sandus was quick to the ball,
Yeah.
but his feet weren't set on the throw. I think that throw would have been out in that, towards the back of the outfield, so ended up being probably the safe decision, but a frustrating miss behind the plate.
and left fielder wasn't there to cover, so I
Yeah.
think he saw that and just didn't want to risk it.
And that pitch pretty low, but a called strike, and Sulik was ready to go to first base.
Full count now with Stevens on third.
Blues definitely hearing a mouthful.
Solik
As he gets a swing strikeout
It's a drop
can't
third.
get a piece of it,
for Roden here.
as they'll tag him out on the drop third,
Sulik goes down.
and the junior Crociata will step into the box with 2 outs.
Risking stranding Drew Stevens here at third base. Crociata. Chance for the RBI.
Yeah, you
Already
know,
has one today. He's 2 for 3.
2 for 3 on the day.
that one drops low for ball 1. You almost want to call this top of the inning a disappointment for the Comets if Stevens gets on at first, makes his way down the third, no outs, and then can't bring him in home.
Guy on third base.
It certainly would be fair to call that a disappointment. But at this rate, we're going to have to wait another batter as Crociata takes 2 balls that weren't even close to the zone.
We've officially eclipsed the 2-hour mark for this ball game.
That one close.
They're going to call it a strike. So that one pinned the corner.
Crociata probably made a good move, not chasing for that one outside, but does clip the zone.
Yeah, 2-0. That's not your pitch, so can afford to take a strike. 2-1. Check swings, and I think he went there.
Yeah, similar spot, a little bit higher. So Crociata went from 2-0 to even count here with 2 outs. Have to swing at anything close. And Stevens ready to run.
Crociata steps out and calls time.
Crociata calls time. For those of you just joining us recently, Comets put up 6 runs in the first inning. That pitch high.
A full
Then
count.
added 2 more on in the top of the third. Elder took advantage of the pitching change as Connor Eggleton gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, pretty
ever since
unprecedented
then-
move. Jake Hanley comes back into the game from
Yeah.
first base, and
And ever since then, it's been a pretty even game. Comets added a run last inning, but really Elder's had most of the momentum as Crociata patient during that at-bat as he makes his way over to first, and that'll bring the junior Drew Johnson to the plate.
and Roden was painting the corners of the zone that entire at bat.
And another time called. Coach Thompson will head to the mound.
We've seen a lot of pitching changes, and
5 pitchers now as a quick outing for Roden.
we'll see if he heads back out to left field, and yeah, switching his glove. He's back out there.
And it's going to be Braden Curlis coming in from second base to take the mound. We'll go to a quick break. Comets up on Elder 9-4 with runners on the corners. Top of the 6th. Back at it. Pitching change. Braden Curlis now on the mound, coming in from second base. The 5th pitcher in just 6 innings for the Panthers, as they're going all in to try and stay alive in the regional semifinals.
Yep, Curlis has moved into more of the closing role this year for the Panthers, but 1.9 ERA.
Fakes the third, tries to get a first, but runner instantly gets back, so he decides to hold on to that one.
0-1 count for Johnson. The crow shot at first, and Curlis will step off.
Deals.
That one in the dirt.
Yeah, missing the zone there.
1-1 count on him.
Curlis bringing some juice to 84. That's the most velocity the Comets have seen since the starter, Amon.
Johnson misses swinging, but Hutch Crociata makes his way cleanly to second.
Yeah, Crociata got thrown out, jumping earlier in the game at first base. Got tagged out there, but gets his revenge with his 3rd steal of the season.
1-2 for Johnson. A nice 1-2 pitch as it just misses outside and tried to get Johnson to chase.
Sandus did his best to frame that one, but it's no success.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do on 1-2. Try to get him to chase just outside. 2-2 count for Johnson. That one pins it in the corner. And Curlis punches him out. With 2 runners on, 9-4, the Mason lead headed into the bottom of the 6th. Hanley still on the mound here in the bottom of the 6th. Can't pitch tomorrow, so Coach Blythe's going to try to get as much out of him as possible.
Yep. And I like it. Hanley's starting to come on these last few innings and don't need to use up a reliever.
And that'll save somebody like Eric Schmulewitz for tomorrow if the Comets can hold out these last 2 innings
Or
this
Jake's
last
brother,
inning.
Ben Hanley.
I would like to say, though, is he knows Hanley's throwing about 94 miles per hour. Lamers is
Slider inside,
high heat.
just misses.
Growing up in select baseball, he had to face Jack Ryan the whole time. And Jack Ryan, the St. X pitcher, has been throwing about 85 miles per hour since I was about the 7th grade. He's my age. So Jared Lambers is also
That
my
one
age, so
fouled
definitely
away.
Used to seeing the high heat. Yeah, the heat does not scare Lambers, I don't think. Yeah,
1-2 count. That's Lammers. Stays disciplined on that one. That's Hanley's pitch outside.
Lammers, the sophomore pinch hitter.
This is mostly just like a try
Tied
to
up now 2-2.
show Coach Thompson what he can do and what he's capable of at the plate. As
That
he,
one
hits
hit to short. Sulik over to first. And quick exchange as Sander with a nice stretch to retire the first Panther in the 6th.
Liam's great defensive plays. Sulik, Drew Stevens nearly took it, but Sulik steps up. I got this one. And a clean throw to Sander, who's been great defensively all season.
Sandus now up to bat for Elder.
Sandus watches the first one go by for strike 1.
That pitch high from Hanley.
Just a bit outside. 1-1 count. Sandus. 1 out.
The 1-1 delivery.
Sandus
Popped into right field, and he'll take the bloop single.
Yeah, but Donor opts to let that one drop and let it stay a single instead of laying out for a catch, what could have been a potential extra base hit. So Hanley gives up the hit, but limits the damage there with a single, and we're going to see a pinch runner now. It's Joey Famine, the junior.
He was saying how the 9-hitter is just another. It's another leadoff hitter because it's the hitter before the top of the lineup.
Now Roden, who was pitching just an inning ago, now back up to the plate. He's moved out to left field again. Got to reset and focus on hitting.
So Barnes really did a good job there. Sandus. Or I'm sorry, yeah. Sandus. Yeah, Sandus.
First pitch ball.
And Roden 1 for 3 today with an RBI.
Yeah, his brother also, Calvin Sandus, is a former baseball legend. He was part of the
Drops that one in the zone. Big lead as Hanley will throw a little lollipop over to first.
Not the first time Hanley's done that, just to keep the Panthers in check on the bases. Not looking for the play at the base.
No, actually, Thaman's on first base right now.
1-1. Blocked from Rutherford.
lefty flamethrower for the Panthers on that state team. He threw in the I think it was the regional finals, and we made it to the state semis. Pitched somebody else, and then he had to throw again in the state championship.
That pitch low and inside.
There's the hitter's count for Roden. Not much of a leadoff at first base.
Definitely the ace of this Mason team. Kind of similar situation.
And that one low, and he'll walk the leadoff batter. A lot of walks tonight, Andrew, from both squads.
Yep, and all the pitchers today, and we've had a lot of them kind of struggling to find the zone. So that's led to a lot of free opportunities. 8 walks for the Comets and 5 for the Panthers.
2 runners on, and this is exactly who the Panthers want. Stepping up to the plate, Jaden Wapple, as he swing and a miss on strike 1.
Walpole chases for strike 1. Hanley back. Drops that one.
Just
A
misses
little bit too
inside.
inside.
Jaden Walpole, highest batting average on the team, but 6th in the GCL also. So definitely a great hitter.
1-1 delivery. Walpole shows bunt, but that one hits the plate.
Stays within arm's reach for Rutherford. And now 1-2 count. Hanley back-to-back off-speed throws. Potential fastball here. Try to catch Walpole off guard.
Hanley can retire Walpole. This would be a big momentum shift. That one dropped into left field. Deep as it fielded near the wall. 1 run comes in. Sulik the cutoff. And runners advance to second and third. So the double from Walpole will cut the Comet lead to just 4.
Even Hanley opted for another curveball, and Walpole read it like a book. Shot that one out to the left field warning track. And so 2 in scoring position, trailing now by 4. Elder in their best spot of the game.
Come up to the plate. Come up to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day. Trying to look to get some.
Now it's Amon. Rough day so far, both offensively and on the mound in that first inning. Just hasn't really been able to recover.
Yep, and what a time to change the narrative for this game with 2 men in scoring position.
Gets down early, 0-2.
As a team went all the way to the regional finals against lost them all an extra 3-2 or 6-5. Pardon me. But the team always has
Hanley
strong.
delivers that one. Hanley gets it, sends it home. Rutherford tags him out, and a heads-up play there by Hanley.
I don't think most pitchers are making that play,
No.
Adam. Jake Hanley, with his frame, that wingspan, able to just stretch out his arm, grab it, and it looked like he was going to make the throw to first base. Would have been easier based on where his body was, but spins around, gets it to Rutherford, who gets in front of the runner, gets the guy out. That's a big-time play.
Yeah, and you can look at the velocity that Hanley has on the mound. You can look at the exit velocity that Hanley has off the bat, but it's his baseball IQ and his awareness that really sets him apart from other players.
But now Comets will meet at the mound, looking to get this last out.
I bet you $5. This is what Coach Thompson wants to do. Guy on first is gonna run over to second. Guy throws down. He's still home.
As the guy that says that this will be a low-scoring game.
You know what, Mason? I know other baseball, though. Other baseball. We did that twice.
I think we're gonna do a fake bunt here.
A fake punt.
Yes, this guy's playing back.
2 outs now.
Maybe.
Runners on the corners. Hanley starts it off with a fastball with
Pushes that
authority.
one. Pushes the 93 mile an hour. Pitch right down the pipe.
Still throwing that heat. 93, 94. That's crazy. This late in the game. Runner goes.
Drops in an off-speed. Rutherford
No attempt.
doesn't worry about it. He's focused.
Yeah, Rutherford
On
lets him
taking
take
down
the bag,
curls.
and it's a smart move.
Not care about that run on second base.
'Cause,
They're worried about the guy.
If he had thrown it there, would have risked giving up home plate.
Now, try not to allow any runs to score.
0-2. Hanley
More runs to score.
steps and fires it in for a strikeout. A huge punch out there from Hanley.
Top of the 7th.
Headed into the top of the 7th. Comets, the 4-run lead over the Elder Panthers, and they are 1 inning away from taking on the Crusaders in the regional finals. Top of the 7th, Comets looking to seal this regional semifinal matchup as they look to take on the Moore Crusaders tomorrow. Still 1 inning to go as Casey Donor fouls his first pitch off.
He's been a patient guy at the plate today. No hits, but also no outs. He's walked 3 times and he scored twice.
Second pitch high.
And had a sacrifice hit as well.
And gets retired swinging.
Yeah, but aggressive there, and after walking 3 times, can't totally blame Donor for wanting to make some contact with the barrel.
Curlis, like you mentioned last inning, normally takes on closing duties for Elder.
And the Bowling Green commit with a pitch just way off target there, that off speed, 69 miles an hour, and wasn't even close to the zone.
Hart watches ball 2.
Hart
Good 1-0
definitely-
take. I think I would have been swinging at that.
Hart definitely a patient batter. 1 for 3 today with an RBI, no walks.
That one slides in the zone. Curlis moving with tempo.
Curlis.
3-1 count.
Kind of a long wind up, and Brad Hart, he's no walks yet, but he's gotten pretty deep in almost every at bat.
That one outside. So Hart will make his way over to first with 1 out. Comets back at the top of the order, and Andrew, 5th or 6th time this Comets lineup's been through.
Yeah, and it's the most dangerous guy today, Alex Kelling. He's hit 2 doubles. He's 3 for 4, several RBIs. He's been the player of the game on offense.
Kelly in the Ohio State
Green
baseball
versus
commit.
Ohio State. You know, if we're playing football, Bowling Green, Ohio State. I think we know who comes away with that matchup. But we'll see if Curlis can make a play for the Falcons.
Curlis back to first. Hart makes it back safely. A 1 count for Kelly. Quick delivery, fouls that one back.
And he was swinging for the fences there. Long swing, extended his arms there looking at that fastball. But now 0-2, he's in a hole.
0-2 for the second baseman. Curlis pauses and delivers that one high.
Kelly, good discipline to let it pass there, 0-2.
Kelly taking his time, staying calm.
That one goes to the zone.
Popped into the Elder dugout, and good effort from Sandus. But can't make it in
Sandus was
time.
ready to dive into the dugout, but it was right by the stairs. You can't really lean over. So now still a 1-2 count here with 1 out. Man on first. Curlish looking to punch out Kelly.
1-2 Hart, big lead at first. Kelly fouls it back again. Good at bat so far.
Kelly getting full extension on a couple of these swings.
That's why your catcher's usually the biggest guy on the team. That way he can take those hits. That way he can take the hit going into the concrete.
1-2 again. That one inside. Hart on his way and makes it in time. Good jump there from Brad Hart.
Yeah, good jump, and it was a great pop from Sandus, but the throw lollipopped a little bit and gave Hart enough time to get there.
Runner in scoring position now. Kelly already has
Brad Hart.
multiple RBIs.
Yeah, Hart's 9th stolen base of the season.
2 on the count. Got 1 out. Guy in second base.
Quick time
Steps up
called.
once again. Everyone comes set here. Curls looks
2-2 inside.
for ball 3.
Almost
Inside. Almost
got his
hit him.
pants.
Just missed.
Yeah, been Sandus able to get the ball pretty quickly, prevent Hart from getting another base.
Definitely not something you want to do, especially for leadoff. As we had him 0-2, now it's 3-2. Curls with the 3-2.
Full count now for Kelling. That one low, and what an at bat.
Yeah, fights
Rallies
back
all
from
the way back.
0-2.
Ball 4.
8 or 9 pitches in that at bat, a lot of foul balls, and
Base. There's a guy up first.
Alex Kelling wins out.
For Curls, you got to think on the bright side. Still got
Now the
still
lethal
got
Jake Hanley stepping into the box. Runner on first and second. Kelling and Hart both have serious speed.
Jacob Hanley steps up.
And the question with Hanley is, is he going to pitch
376
and finish out this game in the bottom of the 7th? But right now, got to focus on the plate.
Take strike 1.
So watch strike 1.
You know, Hanley is a tall dude.
Yeah, he's probably about 6'4".
Maybe a little
Hanley,
to
a
rise.
moonshot into right center.
Right center field.
Schneider's got it.
Schneider comes down with it,
Schneider
but Hart will make his way over to third.
the runner on second will tag up.
Hart,
slide in.
it's a clean slide into third. And so Hanley, for a second with the sound of that bat, thought it had a chance of getting out.
And Elder, lucky that Hanley had that ball here in the 7th inning, because I think early on in the 1st or 2nd with the sun beating down, that would have been a hard ball to track.
Absolutely.
Now the shade's kind of falling in here.
Center fielder Schneider took a little bit of time to get there. That ball ended up topping out, to be more of a pop fly than it at first seemed, and Schneider was able to come down with a catch.
It shows you how good
Runners on the corner as Stevens checks in, or
when they're hitting 40 home runs a year.
makes his way to the plate.
Yeah. Drew Stevens, third baseman up for Mason. Curls comes set.
0-1 count. Stevens puts that one in the air, and that will be easily fielded in right field by Wigan. And score will remain 9-5. Half an inning to go here at Hayden Park in Oxford, Ohio, the regional semifinals. Mason looking to take down the Panthers. And we have 3 more outs left. We'll see if the Comets can pull it off. Final inning of action, bottom of the 7th. Winner will take on the Moeller Crusaders. They took down Butler right before this, and both teams fell to Moeller earlier this year. Elder had a tough year against Moeller. Lost 3 games, and Comets, that was an exhilarating game at Prasco Park. It seemed like it was the Comets game all game long, but went into extra innings and the Comets fell 7-5 on April 20th. 10 innings for high school baseball at Prasco Park. It certainly was a game.
Yeah, both those teams proved themselves as, arguably the top two in the state, and if the Comets pull it off, I think the winner of the game tomorrow night is going to be the favorite in Akron next weekend. And I think we're going to see Zion Theophilus tomorrow, the LSU commit, one of the best pitchers in the country for his age group.
Yeah, and
pushes high 90s.
And he came in to close against the Comets, and Comets rattled him a little bit. So we'll see if
it was one of his weakest performances of the year. But Jake Hanley pitched in that game. Won't be pitching tomorrow. Perhaps we'll see Michael Bilo, who pitched really well late in that game.
Hanley loses control of that one as it flies over the head of Curlis.
Yep, evens the count. And Moeller 4-1 win today, like you said, over Vandalia Butler. David Hagan, the West Virginia commit, was pitching. He pitched
2-2 for Hanley. That one slices in these past 3 innings. Hanley has been slicing and dicing.
Yeah, and he's starting to be on a roll. And it's been that curveball's been his go-to pitch.
Weigand now up to the plate. His first pitch from Hanley outside.
It misses there, and Hanley now has 6 strikeouts.
Hanley. Man, paints that outside corner for strike 1.
It's a perfectly
We'll
placed
stake that one in the
fastball.
corner. 1-1. Fouled back, and Andrew, the story of today's game, Hanley has pitched 6 innings. They had the kind of the weird pitching change in inning 3, but then put Hanley back in the game since he didn't leave the field, and fires the curveball in. And my goodness, when Hanley can hit his curveball, dare I say, he's the top pitcher in Ohio.
Yeah, there's an argument for it. That curveball, it's probably the top off speed in the state. And, you throw in mid-90s fastballs, that's a lethal 1-2 combo. And today, Hanley's been able to find the zone. And Elder, they're really not swinging at that curveball too much.
That one inside just misses the zone. Hanley, again, really heating up. Counts aren't going to have him tomorrow. As change-up. Low on the zone, but called strike.
And 100th pitch coming up now for Jake Hanley.
2 strikes away from victory as gets one of them on a big swing.
So now in the century mark.
Hanley, 1 pitch away from advancing the Comets to the regional finals. He steps and delivers that one outside.
A little anticlimactic there, trying to lay that curveball, which we've seen him strike out back-to-back batters.
2-2 the count with 2 outs. Hanley to Schneider. That one nails the corner. And Jake Hanley propels the Comets to victory here at Hayden Park as they will advance to the regional finals tomorrow night to take on the Moeller Crusaders. 6 runs in the first inning sparked an offensive battle as Comets total 9 runs here in Oxford. Elder snuck back in the 3rd inning, but Jake Hanley dominated on the mound the last 3 innings. And the Comets are going to have a tough task ahead tomorrow.
If Jake Hanley shows the importance of that dual threat ability. He was able to come back in the game because he stayed at first base. He can hit, he can field, and he can pitch, and he proved that here, especially in the 9th inning, striking out the side. Finished with 7 strikeouts, over 100 pitches. A game of attrition, and Jake Hanley battled hard tonight.
Comets redeemed themselves from last year's regional semifinal loss against Elder at Xavier University. Game moves over to Oxford this year, and the Comets take control, and they will take on the #1 ranked Moeller Crusaders in a huge matchup that could determine the state title tomorrow night at Hayden Park. 6 o'clock, we'll be here for all the coverage. And it's been a blast calling this regional semifinal matchup, and we can't wait to be here tomorrow night. I've been Adam Little, joined alongside my partner Andrew Little. Have a great rest of your night.